Hey, what's up, guys? You clicked on the right video if you're doing any type of moving to or around Kansas City. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and just dive in. Let's say if you don't know the area whatsoever, by the end of this video, you'll be able to know the insides and outs. And on top of that, all the benefits and even some of the non-benefits of living here in Kansas City. And if this is your first time to my channel, I want to introduce myself. I am Big Mike. I'm a local Kansas City real estate agent, actually specializing in the Kansas City Northland area. So if you're looking to make a move, feel free to reach out. But let's go ahead and dive on in. Now, first things first. Let's discuss Kansas City is not like Denver. Kansas City is not like Austin. Kansas City is not like Chicago. Kansas City has cheaper real estate than all those places. That means your dollar is able to stretch more, and this would not be a Kansas City video without discussing the barbecue. So when your dollar stretches more, that means you have more money to spend in the economy. Specifically, let's just say Casey Joe's, Q39, Arthur Bryant's, just three of the best barbecue spots in the entire world, from my opinion. And when you get done waddling from all the amazing food you can consume, you're going to have a bigger house, you're going to have a bigger yard, you're going to have a bigger driveway. Overall, you're going to have a bigger friend group because everyone's happier at the size of everything here. Everything is bigger here in the Midwest, and you don't necessarily have to pay for it compared to some other places. Now, with the size of Kansas City and just the overall suburbs all around, whatever your heart desires, you can find it here. Whether you want to go downtown where they have a lot more Victorian-style homes, whether you want to go to the suburbs and you get a stereotypical two-story, 1.5, things of that nature, or even if you want to go find countryside and get more rural. All of these are possibilities, and let's just go ahead and dive in real quick to like the Victorian-style houses. Now let's go ahead and just hop in Brookside and Waldo areas. So if you like that tight-knit community where you're really close to your neighbors and the lot sizes are not that big, check out those two style of neighborhoods. I mean, they're ranging from like 400 to 600,000 pretty regularly. And those houses you'll go ahead and build up instead of out. So it takes up less space, but you're able to build up. Now, these are very highly sought after for people looking to live downtown. Maybe you want to be really close to work, or maybe you just want to walk where you commute. These two places, you're able to walk pretty much anywhere you want down there within reason. Now, if you are looking for more space, I'm going to suggest North Kansas City areas, and that's Parkville, Liberty, Gladstone, even North Kansas City, Platte City, Smithville, Kearney. That's what I consider North Kansas City side. That's actually my stomping grounds. This is the suburbs of Kansas City. So if you want a little bit of yard, most likely have a fence, be able to have a backyard where your dog can roam, have plenty of house. Normally these communities have neighborhood swimming pools, walking trails, things of that nature. And right here, right now, those are kind of the hottest parts of the Kansas City area because there's so much growth coming out of the city to all these suburbs. So they're skyrocketing in price. Parkville, Riverside, Gladstone, Liberty, all these areas have just exploded as far as value because there's so much demand just to live a little bit out there. And it's only like 20, 25 minutes from Kansas City's center. So it's not very far whatsoever. And let's say you do want to get more rural. I mean, you can go ahead and start looking. I'm more on the North Kansas City side. You can start looking at Platte City gets more rural, Smithville gets more rural, Kearney gets more rural, even Excelsior Springs does. All these places are actually pushing out from the suburbs to the secondary suburbs, and it starts to get more expensive for the land. Everybody in the world wants 2 to 5 acres, and they want a house that's doesn't need a lot of work. Well, these properties at that range is normally about $700,000. When you start getting more north, that's whenever the prices start to really drop down significantly. But at that point, you're probably about 45 minutes from the Kansas City center, and those places are like, let's say Holt, even north of Holt. Let's say Cameron. Let's say St. Joseph. Let's say Lathrop, Lawson. These places are a lot more significantly north. And maybe you don't need to go to the office every single day and you want a little bit of land. Those places are phenomenal for you to check out. And you can easily find the land. I mean, land out there is somewhere to the tune of about $10,000 an acre, whereas land in the Kansas City area is about $150,000 an acre. So just to give you guys perspective. All right, the question I get all the time, Big Mike, how's the market? Guys, My answer is the exact same. It just depends. What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to get a steal of a deal right now? Are you trying to pay the least amount of money a month? Are you trying to move because you have something substantial happening in your life? Maybe a divorce going on. Maybe you have to move for a job. Maybe you have another kid coming in, or maybe you're an empty nester. I don't know what's going on in your world, so it's hard for me to ever answer that question. With that being said, I always say the perfect time to buy and sell is when you are 100% ready to make a move. And it sounds very cliche, but there's never a perfect time to do anything. There really isn't. The perfect time is made. It's not made by time, it's made by situation. So just to give you perspective, if you ask me, man, Big Mike, is it a good time to move? I'm always going to say it just depends. I'm never going to push you one way or another. All I'm here to do is give you information. Now, right here in September of 2024, when this video has been created, right now, buyers have never had so much opportunity to negotiate on a house. So if you are looking to sell a house, let's say from California, New York, at a significant price point, most likely your equity in that house will get you negotiating factors at a house here locally to Kansas City. Houses are sitting a little bit longer, and sellers are getting very impatient, and a lot of agents think the only way you can do anything is just by dropping the price. So the prices have been priced more aggressively, causing houses to sit longer, and when houses sit longer, that's rules for negotiations. So just to give you perspective. So it all comes down to simply supply and demand. When there's a surplus of supply, that means the demand is low. When there's a surplus of demand, that means the supply is low. Something is always high, something is always low. Now, there is a special little thing that I do that most people don't. I have so many friends, I have so many relationships. Truth be told, I'm just a hustler. So when people start going through these situations, maybe they have something going on. Let's say you really fall in love with a neighborhood. I'll go out and find you a house. I have so many friends in different neighborhoods, and honestly, it's my God-given talents able to speak to people. I go cold call individuals and just say, hey, would you like to sell your house? This is where I provide a service that most people don't, is when you come to me, I go out and find you the right property. So I always have the inside scoop as to what's going on, and it benefits my business significantly because the more conversations I have, the more beneficial. So it benefits both of us when you reach out. I'll go find you a property that you love, and on top of that, I'll go build up a few relationships with properties that don't work for you. So it always helps out. So most of the time, these houses are for sale, but they're not on sale. I usually help out a lot of people about the 400,000 range. Moving in is where it seems. So some of these people are looking to downsize. Some of them are looking to upsize. You just never know what a person's situation is. And a random phone call from the day is like, hey, I have a client really interested in buying your house. Would you ever consider selling it? That sentence right there has done so much for my clients. They have been so appreciative because that's a single line. And some people say yes, some people say no, but it's 100% a no if I never ask. So just want to give you guys perspective what kind of service you can expect with me. Now, hey, I just want to let you know, if you are thinking about selling, maybe you're just doing a little bit of research. I'm a digital marketing expert. Just like how you found this video, I do this for all my clients' houses. I also do a lot of digital marketing. You can find me on Instagram, BigMikeSellsKc. Find me on Google, find me on everything. I am good at getting attention on people's properties, and that's how I'm able to get them the deals that they never even could fathom getting. So reach out to me. Now, Kansas City is more than just a place to live. It's not just a city. It's not just, oh, I'm going to go pay the taxes in this city. Literally, there's something for everybody. Whether you're a sports fan, which you're going to have to become a Chiefs or a Royals because we love our sports here. Maybe you're a concert fan. There's grinders downtown always having concerts. There's Knuckleheads that always has concerts. There's Starlight Theater. Hell, even the Chiefs Stadium has the biggest concerts. Kansas City is in the absolute center of the United States. So all big performers have to almost come through Kansas City because it's so centralized for everybody just to congregate. Now, I mentioned a little bit about the Chiefs, but I just want to give you perspective. If you do become a Chiefs fan, you're going to have to tailgate. And tailgating isn't the same as probably what you're accustomed to here. Tailgating is get there as early as you possibly can, start barbecuing. People are drinking beer, having fun. I mean, it is a giant barbecue with people that you've never met, and you've never felt more at home when you're just standing in the parking lot and having a good time. Now, if you're like, man, Big Mike, this sounds all too good to be true, I get it. I want to tell you some real things too. So there are a few amazing school districts. Number one in the city being Lee Summit, or in the area, Lee Summit. I actually graduated from Park Hill School District, Park Hill South. Blue Valley is a phenomenal school district. Those are just a few of the school districts in the suburbs you cannot fail at. So if you're like, man, you know what? I'm already thinking about moving to Kansas City, but I just don't know. Man, reach out to me. If you're like, something is very important to me is being safe and having my kids in a great school. If you don't want to send them to private school, reach out to me. Let's literally figure everything out. I got clients right now coming in from Colorado, and their important thing is they really want a good school district and they want to be 25 minutes from downtown. Okay, well, Lee Summit's the perfect one for them to do that. Taxes is lower than the Kansas side, and maybe you want to pay more in taxes. I don't know. I don't really know anybody that would, but if you would, yeah, go check out Kansas. The property values are a little bit higher. The taxes is a little bit higher. And if that's what fits your boat, by all means, reach out. I can get you connected. Now, if you're like, man, the barbecue is all right. I'm not really a big barbecue person. Maybe you just like tacos. So our tacos, our Mexican food here, man, everything comes to Kansas City. We can go down to Southwest Boulevard, and I'm going to keep talking about food. And my buddy Moss Marketing Group, they actually have a taco channel. Check them out on Instagram, and they go over all the best taco areas to just go check out. So maybe you want to just plan every single weekend for the next year and a half, go have some tacos. We can make that happen. So just to give you more perspective, Kansas City really just does have everything you could possibly imagine, and way more than I could even fit in this video. Now, maybe I possibly would have scared you earlier when I said it's not far from being rural, and it's not. Kansas City is actually voted as the #1 spot for remote workers, and the reason for it is low taxes, low property values, lower, big yards, fast internet, overall, and then the commutes are nothing like some of the traffic jams that you can see in like Dallas, LA, New York. We do have traffic, and it's from the times of about 7 to, let's say 9:30, 10 a.m., just to be conservative, where you do spend from going north to downtown, you do spend probably an extra 15 minutes in traffic. Nothing like 2 hours, nothing like 3 hours, nothing like, okay, you work an 8-hour day and then you work a 6-hour time to get home. That's not like that here. So you go work an 8-hour day, you're going to do probably about 8 hours and 30 minutes to 9 hours overall from your commute to basically any part of the suburbs of the city if you are headed downtown every single day. So just to give you perspective on that note. Now, personally, from being to Dallas, I cannot stand their highway system. I get very lost. I get very confused. Me personally, that's not like it here. Other than I-35, I-70, there's a little intersection downtown where you either have to go left, straight, or go down to 71 South, go left onto I-70 East, or you can go west on I-70 West. That is the only weird intersection. Past that, everything is very self-explanatory. I don't know where you're coming from, but our systems are very smooth. Our highways are very easy to understand. Nobody could get lost here if you wanted to, as long as you know what you're doing. So I just want to reiterate, whether you're looking to make a move from a state or maybe across the street, maybe you're just moving from Kansas, feel free to reach out to me. And if you're like, man, you know what? I don't really want to bother Big Mike. It's not a bother at all. I do this for my living, is to help people make a move to Kansas City. And if you're like, man, you know what? I'm not really ready to make a move yet, but you found one of my videos, man, feel free to reach out to me. Get connected with me. Even if you're like, man, Big Mike, I just want a recommendation for a dinner spot tonight. I don't even want to make a move at all. I just like your personality. I felt like to reach out to you. Feel free to send me a text. I'm being dead serious on that. If you're like, man, Mike, where do you buy golf equipment at? Or man, Mike, you look so good. Where do you buy your shirts at? Or you're like, hey, Mike, you definitely look like you eat good. Where's a badass restaurant for the for the week? It's not going to offend me if you're like, man, Mike, you're such a cool dude. I want to just come work out with you. I can give you that information too. But all you have to do is reach out to me. Just want to let you guys know. Feel free to reach out no matter what. As always, I'm Big Mike. I'm your local Kansas City real estate agent, and I would love to have just a conversation with you. If you clicked on my video and you got any bit of value, feel free to drop a comment below. And if you're like, man, Big Mike, you literally wasted my time, drop a comment below on that too. I'd love to hear from you. It always helps me get better in producing content. So until next time, much love. Big Mike out.